Put it perfectly as well down on the stage. Like, look, someone is going to get revenge here. Or maybe Qadsiah just end up sweeping TM if they make it back to the finals. This series is going to be close. Korea's #1 versus EMEA's #1. We're going to Busan with Twisted Minds banning away Junbin's Winston as Lucio ban for Crazy Raccoon.
Very much expected from either team here. Crazy Raccoon, a team that relies on their mechanical ability, their individual skill. Junbin's masterful Winston is going to be impactful throughout this series. So Twisted Minds, because they come from the upper bracket, they get the advantage of first map pick and first ban. And like the desk touched on, UB back in the mix here for a Twisted Minds roster that face a bit of a trap game here. They need to get back into this game with confidence, feeling energetic, and that can be difficult after just about missing out on the grand final. But this is where a team captain like UB, who is so great for the communication, the leadership of this team, to rally the troops, to get your head back into the game. Twisted Minds here. You can see UB so far in the OWCS finals been pivotal for them, providing the Symmetra capable of taking down even the most powerful opponents. But Crazy Raccoon, they got more to worry about, because so far Qadsiah, Twisted Minds, they've been looking really good even without the Symmetra. Korea, they got a bigger uphill battle than just the Symmetra in this one.
And that's not really something we've ever said any time before. I mean, look at Overwatch League, and even Abra was talking about it throughout OWCS's history too. Korea has always been on top. Can EMEA upset that and rewrite the history books, or at least add another page? Now, even looking at Crazy Raccoon, Lip on the other side, you're not expecting him or Heesang to really permanently play something like a Symmetra. Maybe we see flashes of it. Of course, we did see Proper playing someone for Team Falcons, but that's not where their skill lies. That's not where their comps are really going to deviate. So we go to Busan. What do you expect we're going to see here from Junbin? Of course, Wrecking Ball, it's been another massive hero pick for the tank player.
Yeah, Junbin, one of the best Wrecking players in the entire world, and this could be a good time to pick the Wrecking Ball Hazard. Another good hero pick to try and deploy against this Symmetra. But when you compare the two Korean teams, Crazy Raccoon, they overcame Falcons yesterday. But Falcons, they rely more on the teamwork. They're capable of flexing over to a hero like Symmetra, and maybe they could have made it work here today, but instead it was Crazy Raccoon in a 5-map banger who took out their Korean rivals. And you can see going into our first control map, Crazy Raccoon, they are perfect on this map so far. I will say though, those upper bracket finals, they were sweeps. They were really good. Yeah. And so don't let those stats fool you too much.
It's only control, man. It's all good. It's just the first map of the stage. It's all good. It's all good. Fraudulent game mode, of course.
I disagree, by the way. Love me a Lijiang Tower. Let's go. Not in the hero pool, not in the map pool for this event, but shout out Lijiang Tower. I appreciate everyone in ranked who votes for Lijiang Tower.
It's true. If it's up there, I'm throwing a vote that way.
Give it a B vote, you know?
Yeah. All right, Lucio taken away from Funny Astro, but I think the Wuyangs look very good for Twisted Minds as well. Yeah,
the Wuyang has looked spectacular for Twisted Minds, but that is obviously when they want to play a bit more poke-oriented, when they want to shut down the Symmetra we just saw from Qadsiah. Going into this matchup, sometimes we've seen the Juno Brig deployed when you want to play these more brawl-style compositions where everyone is clumped together. You want to maximize the area of effect healing that comes out. It makes it so much easier to top everyone off. Baptiste has been a great pick for Landon on Qadsiah in matchups like this. But going into a matchup like this, you gotta think Twisted Minds, they got a great game plan, because this is their map pick. They've decided to go here. Crazy Raccoon, they know what's coming their way. We saw in the upper bracket matches how they deployed the bans. The Lucio, the Symmetra, the Diva came out against teams like this because they know what is coming their way. Let's just see how they've adapted overnight. See if there's any difference in play from them.
Seeing a lot of this from Shu too. This Ana. I mean, look, at the end of the day, Junbin can still rely on the Ram. And this backline from Chorong and Shu, look at that Falcons game. They were immortal on this pick. TVNT running out on the D.Va though. Gates roll down, Bouchan. See Lip on the Ashe. He's going to be facing Quartz, who's had a heck of a game, or a heck of a day so far. Can he put up the same level here against Lip?
Junbin already poked back, taking a lot of damage.
He's going to die. He's just going to fall
dead.
over.
You're right.
Just WM1. He didn't have the support there at all, Johnny.
A bit of a positional mistake early on, and that's going to provide Twisted Minds with the control of the capture point. But Crazy Raccoon, they need to get their head in the game here. Junbin's over on that Wrecking Ball, and Quartz finds another pick onto Heesang early. Crazy Raccoon, shape up.
Shape up or ship out. Lip's going to have a tough time getting onto this high ground too. You saw TVNT a little bit earlier. Go for the boop on the Ashe, making sure there's no easy sight lines. Here comes the slam from Junbin. But it's met so easily, Johnny, not only with a teleport, but whoa. Yeah, not only with a teleport, with a speed ring as well.
You can see the ping coming out onto the brig.
Yeah, Chorong's really stuck here. Nice kill onto Shu though, I mean. And now Chorong is kind of isolated, kind of alone on the point. Lip trades one back, Simple dead.
Just look at how low.
A lot of pressure now.
Yeah, they gotta be scared here. They gotta back off and reset. Junbin finds a pick of the Quartz. That's a lot of damage taken away from Twisted Mind.
Oh, he needs to reload so badly, so desperately looking for the reload. There's the burn on the mech. But Twisted Mind stall out for a good 50%.
Yeah, that took a long while for Crazy Raccoon to get on the board. We're looking at a lot of individual playmakers here. Lip, obviously, is going to provide a lot of damage from afar on this Ashe, and you got plenty of high grounds to work with. Great sightlines on this initial control round. Heesang, pulse bomb in hand, but Simple's got the Suzu. Look out for this Nano as well from Shu. As Quartz pop the overclock.
Yeah, instantly kills Lip. Puts him 10 feet under. Rally comes through from Chorong though. Nano boost on the brick, but it's so low is Chorong. They just need to be able to secure the kill. Nade from Shu keeps him topped up. UB down means no wall. Now Heesang can try and get in the mix. Nice Matrix though coming through from TVNT.
There's the orbital ray. Twisted Minds with the push the tempo.
They're trying to get to the point now as Force Crazy Raccoon's back, and here is the elevation for Twisted Minds, getting on that high ground real fast. And Quartz, using this wall, can just dodge this Bob pretty much. This Bob doesn't really do anything in this fight here. Not against the wall, and against UB2, who's just laser beaming.
But that was a lot of ultimates deployed for either team. Twisted Minds that needed the survivability tools to get them towards the point and claim capture of the point. And now Crazy Raccoon, we saw early on in this round how long it took for them to set up their pre-fight positioning. And Twisted Minds don't want to let him. Funny Astro goes down early.
Oh,
great
what a
stick!
stick
Wow!
from Heesang. Where's that TP now, UB? Straight in front of him. TP away from the Kiriko, but now Simple's in trouble. Low HP. Same with TVNT. Did end up getting antied as well. Twisted Mind still in control of the point, but not for long.
And Lip opens things up. We talked about Lip being angry. Stirred up in the lower bracket. Now pressure's on to make some plays. No ultimates online for Crazy Raccoon just yet. She will get there with the Nano Boost in time. But Twisted Minds, they threaten this overclock from Quartz as they start rotating, wrapping around the point, looking for anyone they can punish with positioning. D.Va in the face of Lip here.
Yeah, pushing him off the high ground again. That's a lot of damage on the
Wow!
TVNT just gets the solo kill from, I mean, Chorong and Shu were like just kind of hanging around, not expecting Lip to get blown up like that, not expecting TVNT to go for a second dive bomb on the D.Va. Crazy Raccoon with 90%, but Twisted Minds finding Flip, and here comes the overclock. Straight down the straightaway. Chorong putting up the shield. A little bit of X-ray vision onto Heesang. Quartz still hunting for heads, but the heads won't find him.
But that was one of the scariest tools for Twisted Minds deployed. Crazy Raccoon feeling confident re-engaging here.
Yeah, no sleep dart available for Shu now, and he ends up getting blown up again. Both support ultimates down for Crazy Raccoon. And it all falls apart on this first round. That's not jitters. That's TVNT coming up in a big way for Twisted Minds. The perfect kills to lay Crazy Raccoon out. Heesang down, no more touch. It's Twisted Minds get round one.
I can't emphasize enough what a great play that was from TVNT. That fight should not have played out that way. Like you said, Crazy Raccoon, with the rally from the Brigitte, with the nano from Shu, they had so much more to say in that fight, but shut down by TVNT's great D.Va play. And Twisted Minds, they clutch up that final control round. Yes, we saw Crazy Raccoon, they were competitive, they got plenty of picks. But Twisted Minds come out on top. Quartz, 12-2 already.
Yeah, 6.5k damage. It's like 3k more than anybody else on the other team. Jumping on ball now, Johnny. I mean, we're going to see this on Busan from Jumpin regardless of the stage. It's just such a strong pick, but do you think it really matches up against a D.Va on this stage?
It's such a difficult point to get value from the Wrecking Ball. You see, great Stuster here by Twisted Minds, but then the follow-up from the nade.
Simple manages to stay alive though, TP's away, cleanses 19 HP, climbs on the wall, but they've already found Chorong and Shu. I said the immortal backline, but them going down first is not what Crazy Raccoon are used to seeing. Live with the coach going back up, but Quartz is right there waiting for him, waves him goodbye as he plummets to his death.
Isang gets one. They're still trading back and forth. Chorong with another, so Twisted Minds with control here. But Crazy Raccoon, they want a death match here. They want to find individual picks.
Got to find him first. I mean, the death match is being won out by Quartz right now. Isang goes down, Astro.
Whoa.
Oh.
Okay.
He's a professional. Oh! TVNT! Can he get another boop on him? 1000 HP, that'll be a low charge. Yes, sir. Jump in with a double boot, but it's all good. Mobility tools are Funny Astro and TVNT's disposal.
And as Jonbin builds up to these mines from the Wrecking Ball, that is going to be really helpful in prolonging point control here, making it difficult for Twisted Minds to stack up. Twisted Minds, how do they utilize the mobility of this Symmetra teleporter to keep themselves safe from the surrounding threats of Crazy Raccoon?
Like a Christmas ornament, he's waiting on. Yup, no one's gonna check. Plan. Mine's available. 1000 HP. So low at Twisted Minds right now, but they can use this teleport to great distance. And Lip's already dead. In a blink of an eye, they TP and insta-kill Crazy Raccoon. Jonbin basically up there like a statue watching everything happen. Couldn't react quick enough to Twisted Minds' TP plays.
Crazy Raccoon opting for the Ash here is going to be a great target to teleport on top of and punish the individual positioning. Crazy Raccoon here, they lose control, but they still have 5 ultimates online as the mines come out from Jonbin.
But Astro just hits the shift like he's out of there.
Lip again.
Lip's dead again. Nano boost onto Chorong. Gets a bit of damage actually onto the break. There's the rally looking for the bash. Nice cleanse there. It's going to help everybody survive as Chorong has to just dip, has to get out. No overhealth for the rest of the team there. Using that third-person peek to try and escape the wrath of Quartz.
Uh-oh.
But there's no escaping this Sojourn, nor the D.Va. Twisted Minds, Johnny, still in full control of this map. Lip's dead again. Like,
I mean, TVNT is just cleaning up on this map, getting the full support from the rest of his team. But the way he's punishing the backline from Crazy Raccoon, and Crazy Raccoon, they're going to make a wholesale change with Jonbin over to Ramatra, Lip, some added point pressure from this mate. They need more survivability, not feeling comfortable so far here on Busan.
Quartz looking with the overclock on the high ground. The Ramatra now for Jonbin, more staying power on the point. Lip on the Mei. Had enough of just perma-dying on the Ash. Twisted Minds teleporting up to high ground, and Lip is dead again! Overclock from height, a bird's eye view, and he's picking them off one by one by one! Quartz continues to shut down Lip, shut down Crazy Raccoon. A 2-0 on Busan to start off.
And Crazy Raccoon are left pondering, how do we deal with this Symmetra composition? But it's not only Yubi who is threatening from this Twisted Minds roster. TVNT with a fantastic D.Va game there. Lip, one of the most decorated hitscan players of all time just had 0 impact. 8 and 9, that are not the stats that Crazy Raccoons are looking for. Complete dominance from Quartz, 26 and 2.
26 and 2 against the GOAT.
A passing of the torch. Lip, he is the GOAT. At this point, you can firmly say that Lip, he has been so instrumental for so many fantastic teams over the years. So many championships won. But in this series, just unable to match what Corpse is able to deliver on the Sojourn. If Crazy Raccoon are to stand a chance in this series, if they are to qualify for the grand finals later today, they need Lip to perform at their highest ability. And so far, it just hasn't been the case.
Oh, that shot was nice. Astro with a big smile on his face, warmed up. Talk about how maybe pissed Lip is coming into the series. Angry Lip. What about angry Twisted Minds? They want revenge on Alcad. They don't want to go down like this again. They want to be in the finals, and they want to take it this time.
It's been the storied rivalry so far, and Twisted Minds going into this tournament. They felt like they were unbeatable, like they had solved the puzzle of Qadsiah, like they were the team on top. But now, taking defeat earlier on today, they find themselves here in the lower bracket, taking on one of the best rosters of all time, Crazy Raccoon, this golden generation from Korea. But this tournament has been anything but for the Korean teams. Both Team Falcons falling yesterday in 4th place, taking a loss to Crazy Raccoon, and then in the lower bracket, Crazy Raccoon yet to win a map here in this series against Twisted Minds.
How are you feeling if you're... Obviously, we spoke about Lip already, but even with Junbin coming in through this tournament, we're swapping out Max in and out. Seeing Max come in, and not up until recently, like Max was coming in and losing a lot of his maps. Max is really, I feel like, improved as an off-tank player, and especially in this meta where you can play Zarya, D.Va, even Sigma too. We've seen a little bit of sprinklings of that. How are you feeling if you're Junbin here? Do you want to continue to play Winston, Wrecking Ball, plays like this, and hope you can just be quicker than these TPs? Because we saw Junbin in that fight, he's kind of, you know, hanging around in the choke point, waiting to slam. It's like, okay, we slammed, but the TP was almost instant. But by the time he like rolled away to get a different angle, they'd already TP'd across the map and killed Lip. Like, it was that quick. And Ball is the fastest character in the game.
Well, he's going to be given another chance here as Crazy Raccoon, they pivot to Dorado. Obviously, the Winston banned earlier on from Twisted Minds, recognizing the threat of the die potential from Crazy Raccoon.
They're pulling it out now.
As Crazy Raccoon, yeah, they deployed the Symmetra ban early on here with their first opportunity, with the first ban going into the second map.
So going to Dorado too, because you remove Shambali Monastery. So not able to play that, definitely favored for those sim teams. So Dorado, yeah, makes the perfect sense for Crazy Raccoon.
But this is also a big investment. We talked about the various value you get out of some of these bans. And Symmetra, it's obviously the most impactful one in this series, as Twisted Minds, they look unstoppable on these Symmetra compositions. So Crazy Raccoon, this is very much a must-win map for their chances for the rest of this series. If you go down 0-2 in this series, clawing yourself back without the opportunity to ban out Lucio, ban out Symmetra, it's going to be so much harder. You need to make life easier for yourself by winning these important map picks and map bans. So I'm favoring Crazy Raccoons in this one. But Twisted Minds, they showed yesterday they're good even with that Symmetra removed.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Dorado has been the go-to, like, we've got to win this. Like, we have to.
That's the impact of this map pool. You can take yourself to your comfort zone, and we've seen in this tournament a lot of different teams. They have different playstyles, different types of comfort. Twisted Minds, obviously, they prefer the Symmetra here, but Crazy Raccoon, they are very much happy shying away from it.
Bit on screen.
Crazy Raccoon here. What compositions will they play? We'll take a look at their stats on the Escort map type at OWCS Finals 2-1. second best apparently to our stats guy. But again, this is a map that we already performed on. We saw yesterday, I mean, Quartz just had unreal appearances on this map at that point. Playing the Sojourn, of course, and that is going to be a hero that is available to him if you want to take it there.
Do you think Lip matches then? Go Sojourn as well? Obviously, Ash is going to be a big playmaker here, but as well.
Yeah, but we also saw that Lip, he tried out the Ash, it didn't work out.
Went Mei.
He went Mei instead. And so on a map like this, you know, I love the Freya. I think the Freya provides so much when it comes to verticality, the ability to avoid the threat of the Symmetra, but with the Symmetra gone, yeah, maybe. The firepower that a Sojourn provides, the ability to one-shot people with that railgun, especially with the minor perk. The overclock is one of the more impactful ultimates in the game. And so this is very much going to be a duel, yet again, of the hit scam players as Quartz take on Lip here in the lower bracket final.
His backline's just got to stay alive as well. Shu and Chorong. Out of the two, Chorong, a newer face. As Shu has been around since Apex. Long, long time ago. Used to flex sometimes actually to Widow when that was you could as a support. That's ancient history at this point.
But that major title, it escaped Shu in the Overwatch League.
Right.
If you remember back then, it was Chorong who came out on top with Florida Mayhem, taking down the Houston Outlaws, featuring many prestigious Korean players at that point.
Checkmate.
Checkmate as well. He was on that Florida Mayhem roster. I believe Shu was on Houston Outlaws back then, so he knows. They've grown fond of each other and now find themselves in this Crazy Raccoon backline. But as much as we praise this Crazy Raccoon roster, they haven't showed that same level of lethal threat so far in this tournament. It's been all EMEA. Twisted Minds now head into this map.
And you're expecting Jumbin to roll out on Winston for sure if you're TM. You see Max, maybe some D.Va, but it's all Winston all day for Crazy Raccoon. Let's see that speed, let's see that tempo from CR.
This should be the moment where Crazy Raccoon step up the tempo, like you say. Where they show what Korea is capable of when they're playing comfort. And it's a Genji Tracer
classic dive. Like, couldn't be more classic. Maybe swap out the Kiri for an Ana. This couldn't be any closer to pure dive if you tried. This is what you want to see. This is the thing about the Korean region. It's always been the case. They play quick. They play fast. Don't play loose. They play fast. We'll see if Quartz can stand up to the might here of this dive.
So a bit of poking back and forth. But here goes Crazy Raccoon.
Simpra's so low already.
Angling for a dive
Simpra's just getting chased by Heesang. Wow, over the rooftop. Didn't even attempt to look round and maybe even duel him out there, but it's all good because as quick as Heesang got that kill, Twisted Minds pounced. Chorong and Shu already dead as Yubi cleans up on the point. Not normally, obviously, the Tracer play from Yubi. Don't see it every day. Normally Psycho comes in, but he's got a mean Tracer on him. Not enough, though, to take down Lip. Astro trying to get away. Another veteran of the Overwatch League.
Quick reset here from Twisted Minds. They will get one more attempt. But Crazy Raccoon, they want to hold these doorways. They don't want to provide any sightlines for Twisted Minds.
Like Astro's going to be able to get the team back in, but they're carrying in this small little corridor here. Jumbin, Bubble, a little bit too far backwards there. Can't really pressure the corner. Oh, Pulse Bomb. TVNT super low, but stay with Jumbin, to be fair. Backline's getting dove right now. Heesang looking for resets. What a slash. What a dash from Heesang.
Okay.
Hits a reset. Thanks to Chorong. Straight into Astro. Oh, the Pulse. Dodges, all good. Team kill comes in. Twisted Mind sent back to spawn. Does Crazy Raccoon get the cap?
And this is the scary moment for Twisted Minds because Crazy Raccoon, they are coming online. They will swarm you with the pace brought out by a Genji player like Heesang. Lip, we talk about his hit scan player. But he started his career on the Tracer, matching some of the finest players in the world. And Shu.
Wow. Nice boot. Blade for Heesang's already used that deflag, but looks like Twisted Minds still wants some of this. There's the rush. Down barrier comes in for Astro. Only hits 3, but it might be enough. Primal Rage on the high ground. Main man is going to be Quartz here. The juggle from Jumbin is good, but the peel is better for Twisted Minds. They get Quartz out of there. Wow. Jumbin escapes with 37 HP. as the blade from Heesang still sheathed.
The blade is looming here. Overclock from Quartz.
He's deflected already.
Heesang,
He can't go in.
That changes everything.
Nice little drop down as well. Should be a fairly easy cleanup now. Crazy Raccoon's going for a reset.
And so Twisted Minds, they hold this high ground. As Quartz finds another onto Shu. They don't want to let out this hit scan less composition for free. There's no real long-range threat for Crazy Raccoon here. And so Twisted Minds, they can feel comfortable poking and prodding very early on here. Maybe force an early Kitsune rush and then disengage.
Yubi's trying to find an ang here. Liv forced a recall earlier. I heard a Suzu come out too. Yubi down. Went for an aggressive push again. Shut down by another support. Self-destruct from TVNT. An attempted boot from Astro to try and kill Lip. He's chasing him. He's trying to get on him. Lip low. Forced a recall. And now TVNT is in trouble without a ult available. Blade from Heesang. Dashes to the skies. A Suzu. Not enough to save the mech.
And Crazy Raccoon, they're going to wait here for a little bit. Twisted Minds losing their diva. They're going to think better of and disengage here. They want one proper push. But falling behind in the ultimate charge for their support, Crazy Raccoon, they're going to up the tempo once more as Shu will drop this Kitsune rush.
Can Yubi actually find a place to put this pulse? Wants it on Choring ideally.
Oh!
It's like I called it into existence there. Yubi, a double with the pulse. Not only kills Flip, but kills Chorong. It's a full reset from Crazy Raccoon.
And you saw Shu kicking himself in the camp. He has the Suzu that needs to be the protection from a moment like that, from the pulse bomb. That completely flipped everything on Crazy Raccoon's head as Twisted Minds now able to build those support ultimates. They can continue to hold here on second.
Woo. You only trust from the GOAT with that, that's for sure. There's the Kitsune rush. Quartz, though, dashing straight into Jumbin. Yubi ends up finding Lip, but here comes the sound barrier. Hits a 3-man B. Astro connects with his before, but a later sound barrier might be good enough. Jumbin dies with the Primal Rage as TVNT pushes towards the spawn. A minute and 20 seconds to go, Johnny. But look at the payload. It's been inching back this entire time.
Crazy Raccoon running out of time here. And they're going to swap up their damage line from the very high tempo Genji Tracer to an Echo and Sojourn instead. It's going to be tough for Twisted Minds to navigate. They need to rely on Quartz with this overclock.
He's got the overclock, but the bubble's enough. Quartz has got a slide in it. Jumbin disappears. Same with Heesang. Looking like Houdini. Getting out of there. Duplication available. Now Quartz in trouble. Dashes straight back in. Super low. Primal Rage in bank. And they've robbed them of their lives as Jumbin both assists and kills on Quartz and Yubi. Free rush there for Heesang with the dupe onto the Kiriko as they push onto second.
And that should be a point cap.
Should be.
Twisted Minds,
There's a chance.
posting a little bit as the touch comes in from Yubi. Quartz pushes forward here.
I mean, they're on it again, Johnny.
They are.
Bubba's going to come down, but Lip's on a nice little angle here. Has to dash away from the D, but doesn't want to get too close to TVNT. Self-destruct and Pulse Bomb available for Twisted Minds. Oh, but Yubi goes down. Pulse Bomb as well. Probably cancelled, actually. Didn't hear that. Even connect with the floor. Chorong finds Funny Astro. Okay. As close as you can get to an OT push. 1 minute and 30.
And Crazy Raccoon's composition puts a lot of pressure onto Yubi here. Because the damage coming out from an Echo and a Sojourn, it is overwhelming. You need someone to get into the backline, shut these players down. Quartz is trying his best on the Cassidy, but all eyes on the support players here with the ultimates coming online. Crazy Raccoon looking to finish Dorado here on their own map pick.
Quartz on a Cassidy of all things now. I mean, the range definitely nice on third. Double rush, high noon for Quartz is going to waylay the push from Crazy Raccoon. And Heesang pops his little head out. TP away from Shu, but this might just be enough. I mean, where are they right now?
Uh-oh.
They're in the old spawn, Johnny.
This is a lot of time lost for Crazy Raccoon. Twisted Minds, they're going to push in here.
This is horrible if you die here. Sound barrier connects with 3 again. Astro comes in with a later one. Shu chased down. Crazy Raccoon. A push to the very brink. Again, final fight.
This is an awful spot to be in. The Primal comes in from Heesang. Crazy Raccoon, they're doing their best here to really brawl, to find picks, but
He's gonna die.
they're not
Johnny,
getting value.
Heesang ends up getting eliminated by Quartz, but there's no value there, there's no space. And we've got 10 seconds to go, and Choring is getting pushed to the very brink. Yubi traces down the Lucio, and someone needs to touch. Someone's got to get there. There's 3 seconds. Jumbin's on the Doomfist. He has to go for it, but can't quite get there.
That high noon just messed up everything for Crazy Raccoon. They decided to retreat away, but then found themselves in that lower basement area. It was the wrong position to rotate to, and it didn't allow them a full push to get back towards that payload. Losing the sound barrier like that, Choring just hitting 3 people with it. No damage players were with them down there. And so it's just a wasted ultimate. The sound barrier is so critical to get across that hurdle. And so Crazy Raccoon probably thinking there, that was a missed opportunity. We made one rotational mistake. Oh, and look at that pulse.
That, like you said, Shu kind of kicking himself, but feels like you can't really blame anybody there. That was just a good play by Yubi. That was just a perfect stick.
Yubi coming on clutch here on this Tracer. We talk about the Symmetra. Theoretically, Yubi should be no match for a player like Lip in this one. But Yubi showing the nice, well-timed pulse bomb. He still got what it takes to have impact in this roto.
Bonjour.
Quartz going to take a shot out of the gate. Yeah, no pure dive for Crazy Raccoon now. Heart skip to beat. Choring pointing to the sky saying thank you there. Thank goodness that wasn't a headshot.
And so even though the Symmetra is not in play here, we're looking at a Twisted Minds composition that will prefer to stick together, pocket Quartz on this Cassidy, enable your hitscan player to get picks. TVNT, he's the bodyguard on this D.Va, utilizing the crucial defense matrix.
Please pay attention to Quartz. Someone forced him out. Yubi in the back line, playing it stealthy. Oh, trying to kill on Jumbin. Highly unlikely you're going to get that, but puts pressure on the back line at the very least. Suzu comes out from Shu, saving the team. Yubi still slinking around.
Crazy Raccoon here, they're just trying to keep this payload contested. They like to fight in this kind of an area, but they need their damage players to find pick. Heesang, you need to get active on this Echo.
They flip the map. They flip the map and they're complete. This is a better spot for Quartz to be in, Johnny.
They're running out of time here on Crazy Raccoon. They need to go for a play soon.
Yeah, they do. They can't let this one go away for free. The payload is moving at light speed.
And Simple coming up with the Kitsune Rush. Twisted Minds have the whole advantage here.
They have a High Noon as well. Crazy Raccoon, you got to do something. You got to get Feral up in there.
They just capped.
High Noon.
They just capped.
Straight underneath their noses. I mean, that cannot happen. It cannot.
Crazy Raccoon, they just got nothing going for them here. And now they're fighting in Twisted Minds spawn. I mean, this is a Crazy Raccoon roster that is hesitating, that isn't making the plays necessary to shut down Twisted Minds. We know what this roster is capable of, but they're not showing it just yet. On this second point defense, the ultimates will have been generated, so they should have a pretty good win condition going into this next fight. But we need to see a Crazy Raccoon roster come online, repeatedly win fights with the mechanical ability from Heesang and Lip.
Railgun for Lip. Yeah, you want Lip to be a playmaker here. You need him to go for something. Sound barrier. Okay, now they're pressing the tempo. Funny Astro goes down, holds on to his own beat. No Ajax is here. Not at least for now. TVNT has still at least killed Shu. And the longer they stay in this fight, the worse it is for Crazy Raccoon. But the cleanup is swift. Self-destruct, dodge. Jumbin cleans up the baby D.Va.
But that was the easy fight for Crazy Raccoon. Now begins the tough path of holding Twisted Minds here on second. Funny Astro's going to have the sound barrier advantage. Crazy Raccoon though, a lot of playmaking to be made with this overclock from Lip. Shu with this Kitsune Rush.
They might just go again, they might just go fast. Rush over the edge. Yo, You be taking a body shot.
Watch your head.
There they go. They're going again. Gonna go with the Primal Rage this time around. High Noon's gonna get popped. Jumping out. Slowly but surely. Moving around the corner is Quartz. Cancels the High Noon. Now Jumbin looking for something to right-click down on the low ground.
The longer this pre-fight goes on, Twisted Minds are going to build a Kitsune Rush. These are two crucial ultimates needed to keep things going here on
trouble.
second.
He's needs help. TVNT just finds the solo kill on him. And now they're going to try again and push the back line of Twisted Minds. Lip goes too low though, and that overclock barely finds a scratch of damage.
There's no value. No value. Twisted Minds are happy that ultimate came out. Here they go for their cohesive push.
Oh, there's the rush on the high ground sound barrier as well. Double support ultimate available for Twisted Minds. They're just going to run and gun. Crazy Raccoon. They're just going to get torn apart here as UB is cleaning on up. Look at those assists as well. This is not close, Johnny.
Make no mistake about it, Crazy Raccoon, they're getting dominated here in the lower bracket final. Twisted Minds look unstoppable. Who needs us to Medra?
Doomfist coming in for Jumbin. Probably the best Doomfist in the world right now as the sound barrier does connect. Oh, a nice little dodge there from Quartz, but booped up in the air briefly. Half a meter-ish to go as Quartz is shut down. TVNT not choosing to self-destruct. They know this fight is done.
We have the opportunity to get a second look on Doomfist. Who would have thought?
Oh, yeah. Give me more of that, fella. More Doomfist. I mean, Jumpin is the best Doom in the game right now.
Yeah, and honestly, it's going to be tough against this Cassidy, obviously. A buff to Cassidy's Hinder recently. But this caters to the playmaking playstyle. Maybe this will help Crazy Raccoon to get involved, to get in there. Make space for your damage players. It's going to be very volatile on this Doomfist, but you can make plays.
They got a touch. Jumbin's already in, hasn't got the ult, so he's going to be vulnerable after this block runs out. Lip is already down, he misses the punch, and now he's got to find a kill. He's got to find something, and they're not going to give it to him. Astro takes down Jumbin. Payload is going to get capped. And that time bank is ticking up. Crazy Raccoon living on borrowed time, and the time is ticking faster and faster.
46 meters is all that Twisted Minds need here on the third point. And they're coming up on some big ultimates too. Crazy Raccoon, they've had no answer so far for EMEA in this tournament.
Post bomb from Heestang. Door closed. Trying to get it past this Matrix is going to be tough, but he's found a way in. Spots the backline. TP, rush, Heestang low, forced to recall, Meteor Strike, and Two's already dead.
TVNT again.
He just keeps on coming up big. Meteor Strike gets nothing, sound barrier there. Twisted Minds haven't lost a single player yet. Chorong and Jumbin low, and it's all over, Johnny. I mean, you can't much, you have to ask for a miracle from Heestang, but that miracle is not gonna come. Twisted Minds on map point. On the verge of making history. Will this be an all EMEA finals? Because Crazy Raccoon right now looks like their heads are no way near the game.
We are seeing history in the making. In front of our eyes, as Qadsiah, Twisted Minds, they are showing Korea what this region is capable of. Something unprecedented in the long history of Overwatch Esports. And just take a look at the stats. TVNT 23-6, been so impactful on this diva, both in Busan but also on Dorado. Quartz, 16,000 damage, rocking that Cassidy. Crazy Raccoon, they've had no answers.
Zero, Johnny, zero. Peep this pulse.
Hello.
That's Suzu timing from Shu there.
It's been a Crazy Raccoon team that have always felt a step behind in this series. Obviously, they're reliant on a lot of big players coming up for them here. We're used to seeing Lip just color the kill feed with his big impactful play. Heestang as well. We talked going into this tournament, oh, Heestang is looking great. I mean, he's dominating proper. But he hasn't had that same level of impact in this series.
Dorado is the must-win map. It feels like every single series we've seen so far, and they lose it. They lose the dive map. The sim ban is off the table. We go into a third. Crazy Raccoon. They need to buck up here. They need to find an answer to what TM are bringing, because you know what they're bringing next map. They're bringing that sim back.
They're bringing the sim back. And with Dorado out of the mix, it gets more difficult for Crazy Raccoon to force something that is comfortable. Ooh. You could have made the case, perhaps, that banning the Symmetra and picking Dorado at the same time, it was too much of a commitment of resources available for Crazy Raccoon here strategically as Max gets subbed in. That tells us that Crazy Raccoon, they're going to play more of a ground-style tank here. Max hailed for his amazing Zarya play coming out of Korea. But is that really going to be the key for success here? As Crazy Raccoon will need to reverse sweep Twisted Minds, a Twisted Minds team that now for the rest of the series, taking a map loss here, they'd even be comfortable getting the map pick for the 4th, the 5th map, the first bans. Crazy Raccoon, they got the whole deck stacked against them for the remainder of this one.
Yeah, and that is the scary thing. If they do end up low, we lose this one, sure. Map pick, ban, insta, win, it feels like, for Twisted Minds. Qadsiah in the back there, of course. I mean, look, not subbing Psycho in either. They're happy to play these sim comps against Crazy Raccoon. Maybe we see Psycho in the finals if they make it there. But, Johnny, like, is this really how Crazy Raccoon go out? In a 3-0 like this?
I mean, this is a Crazy Raccoon team that is looking for answers at this point. They gave it to Roland Busan. Dorado, it's extreme of a map design you can possibly ask for when it comes to the verticality, the high ground, that theoretically should enable the damage players of Crazy Raccoon to pop off. And so now pivoting to Max, you're going to get a completely different compositional look of things. And maybe they got a solution to whatever Twisted Minds is bringing, but even so, you gotta demand excellence from this roster moving forward.
And that's what we expect. I think that's the expectation too, with even Team Falcons. You expect excellence every single time they click play, log in, join the server. I mean, like, you're expecting highlight reel worth of clips. But we're not seeing any of that. We're seeing that from TVNT, especially. While Junbin and Max, fairly new in the grand scheme of things, if you look at like all the way back in Overwatch League, they did play at the very tail end of it. But TVNT, he is the next generation of world-class tank players. And if he wasn't already, he definitely is now.
I mean, we spent the entire year talking about Siad and how awesome Siad has been for Qadsiah.
Sure.
But I think TVNT in these recent months, the impact he had in Stage 3 for this team, I think that TVNT has rivaled some of the performances from Siad. And you can see throughout this series how he just pestering the backline of Crazy Raccoon. He drains those cooldowns, the teleport, the Susu from Crazy Raccoon, and that just makes the rest of the fight so much easier. He comes up in the kill feed, but it's all the work you don't really see in the kill feed either. Just draining the resources from a Crazy Raccoon roster that is so reliant on the mechanical abilities of their players. And so it's going to be a diva ban here from Crazy Raccoon as we head into King's Row. This is going to force a bit of a Ramatra matchup or the Zarya if Max chooses to go there. As we take a look at the top banned hero so far this tournament, and you can see Diva, the most banned hero so far. That is obviously something we've seen a lot on Ilios, because you ban out some of these ground tank players. That's going to make things difficult for them when it comes to adjusting to the Winston. But even in a matchup like this, you get that defense matrix out of the equation. That's less protection for someone like Quartz, who's been popping off so far. And it's going to force a bit of a different compositional matchup here.
With TVNT on the Ram, though, against Max, who has looked really good throughout the stage. Do you think TVNT is going to be able to stand up to this? Because this is another kind of ban that they can pull. Like, we know TVNT's Diva is his best hero.
Yeah, we can talk about the tank players in this one, but the head-to-head is going to be lopsided because one team has a Symmetra.
And the other team does not.
I very much doubt Crazy Raccoon will bring out the Symmetra in this map because it would be essentially admitting defeat. we don't have the answer. We don't have the solution to what EMEA are bringing. As we take a look at Quartz and TVNT so far in this series, 48 eliminations from Quartz, that's no surprise. He is the designated damage dealer. But TVNT, I'm so amazed by the level of his performances so far. It's a tank that just, a player we haven't really discussed. And now just providing whatever is necessary here in the crucial moments.
Look at map 1. Go back and replay that map 1.
It's amazing.
On the high ground, pushing Lip off, going for like solo dives on Lip, killing him over and over and over again on the Ashe. Like, you can't ask for much more than that from your D.Va player.
They closed it out, the initial round, by TVNT killing the backline of Crazy Raccoon, shutting down the rally.
Yeah.
The Nonobus, they didn't even come out from Crazy Raccoon. TVNT was just in their face, harassing Crazy Raccoon. And so the impact can be witnessed in the kill feed, but also, like I mentioned earlier, the abilities have been flawless from this Twisted Minds roster so far. So I mentioned, of course, the Symmetra is going to come back into the mix here. And the Symmetra, there's so much damage coming out from a Symmetra, especially close range, as if you generated the charge on that beam. And so if you're Crazy Raccoon, if you're Max here, yes, you're going to play the hero of your choice, whether it's the Zarya or the Ramatra. Oh, already displaying a little bit of confidence here as we head into the third map. And why shouldn't they be confident? They've earned themselves that opportunity to be confident going up 2-0 in this series.
1000%. I mean, even losing a map, right? You're still like, well, we kind of crushed Dorado. Like, we crushed Control as well. We're happy with this. We know we can take Crazy Raccoon. We know we can take some of the gods of Overwatch to their very brink.
I mean, in many ways, the weakness for Twisted Minds so far this year has actually been that they're forced to map 5 so much because they end up losing the maps where they get banned out, where the enemy team target bans them and they are unable to play at their fullest potential. So when you start off a series 2-0, you know that you patched that up, you've solved things that you were previously struggling with. And so Twisted Minds, they've earned themselves that opportunity to feel a little bit of relief here. As we take a look at the bracket of the World Final so far, it's been 5 days of play for these teams. Take a look at the lower bracket here in Crazy Raccoon. They run through it as they took down T1 in a 3-0 fashion. Last night, the last match of the day, Crazy Raccoon, they overcame the second seed in Korea, Team Falcons, the previous reigning world champions, for an opportunity here in the lower bracket finals against Twisted Minds.
And Falcons, why do they end up in the lower bracket? Well, Twisted Minds 3-0'd them. The Korean Slayers. Both the number 1 and number 2 seed being put to their test. Max with a small little wave there as we jump into King's Row in just a moment. D.Va ban for Crazy Raccoon. Down to the wire with a potential couple more maps to actually be played. I mean, Twisted Minds, if they 3-0 here, what a ridiculous run. 3-0ing Falcons, 3-0ing Crazy Raccoon, only being beaten out by Alcad to land in this lower bracket finals. Our third and potential final map here if Twisted Minds keep up this pace. Crazy Raccoon needs something special.
This is something that Korea, they're unaccustomed to. Their dominance in Overwatch Esports. They have reigned for so long. And now, heading into a third map in the lower bracket final, we're witnessing perhaps the final chapters of their legacy.
A pretty obvious affair, like you mentioned, with the Sim. But we have seen Sigma on this map played a little bit, Johnny, on defense.
It's a good first point defense. Secure that high ground. A lot of options here for Crazy Raccoon.
See what Twisted Minds start on. Just a ram, as expected. And now Max, a fresh set of eyes, a fresh set of ears too, to come in. Not like I'd expect Crazy Raccoon in any way to be crumbled mentally, but still a fresh approach needed, something different.
And Moon has talked about, the coach for Crazy Raccoon, he's talked about, he didn't fully trust Max. But obviously going into a map like this, in the recent weeks he's talked about, he fully trusts his Ramatra player now. As we roll out on King's Row, Crazy Raccoon, on their last tournament life, need to force a reverse sweep here.
Chorong Mercy, they're going Farah Mercy. Their answer, maybe, to this Ram. Of all things I didn't expect to see, this is definitely up there.
I've seen it all. I have seen it all. Oh, uh-oh. Okay.
They're like, did you guys choose the right hero, or you already played Mercy, or what?
UB maybe having a bit of a mic issues.
Now we have seen it all.
They got a look on the Mercy composition. Twisted Minds now. How are they going to adapt as they face a Farah Mercy composition? And like you said, a hero we never see in competitive Overwatch. That damage boost, I mean, you've seen it in ranked, folks.
Folks, too much.
You've seen it in ranked. It's good for some extra damage output, trying to find those picks, but that puts even more pressure onto your damage players. But it's also a pick that usually isn't selected because of the lack of mobility. This should be a hero that Twisted Minds can look to punish.
All right, we're back in. All right, he's saying, what you got? Chorong, got to be careful. Stay with Shoot. Take it to the skies, though. Oh, nice little boot, but Quartz. Slide take there, looking real good. Ended up TPing. Oh, TPing back. Lip doing a little 180 there. Still looking for these off angles are the hit scans. There's a Chorong and Heesang in the skies currently, and he chases down Funny Astro. Okay. Heesang eventually shut down, but Lip on the high ground is going to get the damage boost now. After they heal up the front line. Should be able to get the res too. Hello, Quartz. Good night.
And you can hear the Korean fans roaring as Crazy Raccoon secure this first point cap. This is their last hope, their last chance, the Korean fan base, to cheer on one of their representatives here at the OWCS World Finals. But that was just 1 point, Crazy Raccoon. They have plenty left to go. How do they operate this second point? With the benefit of Heesang's Far as he comes up with that barrage.
Perma-flank, hide on the roofs. It's going to be the aim of the game. Not many angles here for Heesang to fire down, so Quartz is going to be able to check a little bit easier. They're actually just going to try and rush. It's a 3v5 on that cart right now. Crazy Raccoon. The rest of the team just has to survive, Johnny. But Shu's already dead. The TPs that close the gap don't give Heesang and Chorong enough time to respond.
It's an amazing response from Twisted Minds. They see the two people behind them and they push forward to punish Twisted Minds. And now, knowing that Heesang is up there, you could always teleport, you could always threaten that mobility to punish even more individuals. Lots of ultimates on the board here, but UB goes down early.
No more TP, Astro gets booped in, Bob deployed. Going to be doing a fair bit of damage here with Lip. Yes, okay. Choke point secured.
That was a great nade there from Shu onto the backline of Twisted Minds as well. Heesang obviously going to put in a lot of damage on this Farah, but if you can force the Susu early, it puts Twisted Minds in a difficult spot, and Shu can really abuse the effect of the Biotic Grenade. That anti-healing, so effective at killing targets.
Now you can insta-pop people as well. If you land an A, then land a damage boosted rocket, it's GG.
It's too much.
Okay, ults from Crazy Raccoon here. TP. Alternate angle. Here, oh, Heesang's barrage. Drag straight back down though. That Ravenous Vortex was perfect. A resurrection onto Heesang, but Chorong pays for it.
It's not enough. You can't go for one kill barrages. Chorong back on the Lucio as he tries to get back here. Twisted Minds, they are gonna contest this one. TVNT coming up on the nation, but they step off the cart. Crazy Raccoon, completely uncontested as they push the payload forward.
You can't let that happen. Happened to Crazy Raccoon earlier on, but time for a little bit of revenge. Annihilation for Max. Yeah, punches UB's lights out. It falls in the fray, but they're all good. You got the res.
That's commitment. The swap over to the Lucio. Hold on, we won. I'm back on the Mercy, folks. The Annihilation used, though, for Max as a great survivability tool for that card present. So now the big question is, how do you keep Max alive in a situation like this? Twisted Minds, they have the Kitsune Rush. That's come to amplify the amount of damage coming through here.
That amplified dynamite damage is dirty. Bob, damn simple into the ground. A double kill for the Bob. And still ults ready for Crazy Raccoon here, but they're going to be able to build him up pretty quick. TVNT, you need to come up with an answer. Widowmaker for Quartz, checked instantly. Oh, and Heesang didn't even see the rocket coming. Lip finds another, and this is the Crazy Raccoon we were promised.
Crazy Raccoon, they're not finished just quite yet.
On a mercy of all things.
On a mercy. You can see the conversation ongoing with Twisted Minds. Yubi not happy with how that defense went. And 3 minutes now in the time bank for Crazy Raccoon as they push that payload to that third point. Taking a look at the stats. 0 and 1 for Chorong. He's a Mercy player. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
13 damage. No! He shot one, like, left click, like one little pistol shot. Yeah, there was no chance they were playing this on defense, but still this backline on the defense is still scary for, I mean, Shu was putting up some nice numbers the other day on the Ana. That headshot perk, by the way. Thank you, Scott Custer Kennedy. Doing work for a lot of the Anas.
I mean, you become an extra damage player, essentially.
Yeah.
If you can land
if you
those
weren't already,
shots,
to be fair.
Yeah, well, it is an Ana.
Yeah.
They tend to get punished because their kit is so valuable. But that extra headshot perks makes them ever so more lethal. So Twisted Minds now. They gotta focus on this round ahead. Can't linger, be thinking about the Mercy. They gotta do what they've done already so far this tournament. Play this Symmetra to perfection. It's going to be TVNT over to this Qadsiah. Twisted Minds likely to contest for this high ground now. As they rotate up the stairs. They want to clear out this high ground. Remove Shu from his advantageous positional high ground. But you gotta be wary of these rockets coming in from Heesang.
Yeah, just downtown, sitting in that window, like, what do you have to contest that window? You have to wide swing if you're Quartz. UB can right click, of course, but maybe this is the plan. A little flank.
Oh.
Well, that's how you did. Well, it looks like you just wide swung and double hit him. So, well, that answers that question, Johnny.
A lot of threats on this server. Quartz is one of them.
Shu, don't peek him. Only headshots on Shu. Only headshots. You got to touch at some point, though, if you're Crazy Raccoon. Eventually made their way down to the point. TVNT pretty low. He's going to run out of bubbles pretty soon. Nemesis form already used. He's just impervious to damage. Like, no one's looking at this guy.
Oh.
Eventually, Heesang's going to come in, 25 HP, but you got to kill him. Eventually, the Qadsiah falls.
You got to touch.
In amongst the chaos, Max in the front line. Couldn't stand up to the rush.
Max tried to buy enough time for his damage players, but it was a little too late. And Twisted Minds, they endure on the point, forcing the objective. That is what the symmetric composition does best here. So just a tiny bit of time removed from the clock here as Twisted Minds, they march forward. Crazy Raccoon, though, they have this nano boost. Heesang, he's going to control the skies on this Pharah. It's just a matter of finding those picks and breaking down Twisted Minds' composition before they get too much card push.
They got Barrage up with a couple too. Nano. At least you can move with the Barrage now, you know what I mean? But realistically, you're still going to get blown up. High Noon pushes them forward. TP. Going to back up. Pop through.
Shu.
Whoa. A little bit sooner there. Maybe Shu gets caught out, but luckily Shu escapes with his life.
So that's that push shut down for Twisted Minds. Chorong's coming up on a Kitsune Rush, but Funny Astro should be able to trade it with the sound barrier.
Looking like he wants to give Nano to Heesang, maybe. Although sustaining the front line might be more important. Looking for a nade. Okay, there's the rush. It's a backwards rush.
The disengage.
Disengage is perfect from TM. Nice timing.
That's so well done. But Heesang?
Oh, straight from the skies. They need something. Nano boost on the fire, but Choron goes too far. And funny, Astro hits the beat too. A boop onto Max. Still Nano on fire. It's going to eventually dissipate. But Twisted Minds, I mean, they still got this grab. High energy Zarya. Max is getting bullied. Heesang kills Astro. Grab lobbed in. Bob to help. But can they actually finish this off? Lips Bob.
Lip?
Just carrying the fight.
No way, they turned this around?
The sick man.
Unbelievable comeback from Crazy Raccoon. As Bob shows up big time. The alternate angle that Bob provides you, and Heesang, the poke damage. It's all about enduring these fights. Trying to get this poke in. And Twisted Minds, they lost so many ultimates. That was their ultimate economy. Gone. They traded it for Crazy Raccoon, but Twisted Minds are so much more reliant on it.
Got the high noon, that's about it. They can try and be tricky with it, but I don't think Crazy Raccoon are going to fall for these. Not anymore. TP behind, little bait maybe. There's the high noon, a little bit too scared. Heesang. Half the ult built up. Yeah, there's just no shot you're falling for that.
And guess what? Shu has already built another nano boost here. Watch out for this rotation though.
Nice boot. Silver bullet. Oh! You can't let him get away with it. Oh, nice flashbang there from Quartz. Hinders Strong's movement.
And that's actually a bad trade for Crazy Raccoon. But they have the nano and the barrage to go here.
Yo, what's going on up here? Oh, Lip! Woohoo! That's why he's one of the best. Hitting headshots like that at close range.
Are you feeling the tide shifting a little bit here as Crazy Raccoon? They start to hold firm here on second point. 2 minutes remaining for Twisted Minds here.
Hello! Hello, Stu! Yeah, the confidence is back. I think ult's coming up as well, Johnny. Rush, Annihilation, coming up soon.
The crowd is getting involved for Korea here as well. Seeing their team, finding some momentum, starting to look comfortable here. This would be a massive map to get things going on.
Oh, look at the nades from Stu!
My.
Again, fighting another flank angle.
The headshot.
God, he's so good.
Oh!
Oh! Slams the desk a bit there, a bit frustrated with himself. Losing that high ground position of Max. Used Annihilation to stay alive.
That's something very expensive. 5 for Crazy Raccoon. And Twisted Minds now with 5 ultimates coming up here. They should have all the ingredients required to cap out this second point. Heesang, a lot of poke from behind. Twisted Minds, they're going to drop the Qadsiah rush.
Qadsiah rush basically on the same frames Heesang is dealt with. Sound barrier for Funny Astro as well. You haven't got that capability on Crazy Raccoon, but Twisted Minds invest 2 of their 5 to get this payload going. However, there is a touch available. Chorong, Lucio speed ring from Juno, get everybody out the spawn doors. Kiri to TP, min-maxing to get back to the point.
But the worrying sign is that Crazy Raccoon, all the members are in front of Twisted Minds, and the high noon comes out.
Bob Quartz dodges it. There's the wall. Quartz needs an angle though, can't find it.
Heesang, he's got the barrage here. Needs to come up big time.
He spots him as well. Quartz in trouble. Still dodges though. Heesang low. Dared not peek. The rest of Twisted Minds who are also healthy. Max is so low as well in this front line. Barrage from the skies. Kills 1, kills 2. Heesang with maybe a third. Overtime. Heesang just demolishing Twisted Minds. We're going to a map 4. We knew Crazy Raccoons had more.
Korea, not out of it just quite yet. Earn themselves a little bit of relief as the players go backstage. Give themselves a bit of a break. Take a deep breath. This series is not over.
Of course it wasn't going to be a 3-0, Johnny, of course. We knew that, everybody knew that. Crazy Raccoon determined to make it to that final. There will be a new champion. Whether it's an EMEA team or a Korean team, yet to be seen, because this right here was domination on something that looked a little bit different. A Mercy coming out from Chorong. He sang on the Pharah, 15k damage, 29 limbs as well. I mean, that barrage, it looked almost hopeless. Look at the health bars on the side of Crazy Raccoon in that last fight. They were all sub 50%. Heesang goes for the miracle barrage, gets a couple, and clutches it out for Crazy Raccoon. We're expecting the very best to come out here today, and that's exactly what we've got.
And we talk a lot about the impact of Heesang on this Pharah. He's making the plays, Shu, Lip. But Max being able to stay alive for so long on the cart, to buy that time necessary for the health to regenerate, for Heesang to get back to the fight with this barrage. It's a team effort for Crazy Raccoon as they make things happen, and Shu, finally a reason to put a smile on his face.
Looked like a little bit of relief there as well.
They found something. Crazy Raccoon, they found something here on King's Row. Still, now they're going to face Twisted Minds, 2 future map picks. And so, Crazy Raccoon, they're not quite out of it just yet.
That's the big thing. We talked about that after this second map, Johnny. Was now you have to face Twisted Minds on their own map pick. Not once, but twice if we go to that map number 5. And where do TM pivot? Oh, they're not going to ban the Pharah, probably not, but where do you think we go from here?
I mean, you look at a map like New Junk City, and you consider the first point. The only Pharah player I've seen made it work is Lavda for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in the Overwatch World Cup. But Crazy Raccoon, they got an uphill battle in front of them.
They need 2 more wins here to lock themselves a spot in the finals, but Twisted Minds will not go down without a fight. We're going to jump over to the desk, give the players a couple, so we'll see you in a sec.
Thank you, friends. The desk is back with Avril, as well as Necro, myself, as Zoe. And let's chat about the match. Heading into this, as we were setting it up, you guys did say that you're going to expect to see Max in the mix just to counter that Symmetra. However, we didn't get to see Max up until map 3. Let's chat about the first 2 maps and how Twisted Minds got the victory there.
I see this a lot more as, you know, eventually we'll get to the map 3, but Max is more coming into play the Ramatra. I think the Ramatra is the way to go. But in the first couple of maps, Jimbin playing, I think on the Busan, a little bit surprising for me. If it was Crazy Raccoon picking first, I can understand. Start Jimbin, go to Ilios, ban the Diva, play your dive. But actually, it was Twisted Minds picking first, higher seed here, going to Busan. You have all this Wrecking Ball coming through out of Jimbin, but then you go to map number 2, and he's still staying on the dive, and they're really trusting, okay, Dorado, ban away the Sim. It's going to have to force Yubi onto something else. Can't really play much Mei on the Dorado, so he moves over towards the Tracer instead, and then TM still win that dive mirror-ish on Dorado, which is crazy to me. Yubi actually performed on the Tracer as well.
Yeah, that's such a surprise because, you know, with the Tracer from Yubi, that's not something that I feel like has looked the most comfortable for this player. So the fact that you brought it out and you beat one of the best teams in the world with it, I think that just shows how much Yubi has leveled up overall. But then we get to King's Row. Everything that Crazy Raccoon had thrown in the way of the Wrecking Ball, the Winston didn't work, even with the Symmetra ban. And you go to King's Row, you bring in Max, and then the Heesang Pharah comes out, and that was so fun. With Pharah, the Mercy fans are rejoicing right now to have seen Mercy actually see some play in professional Overwatch.
I love moments like this where you just quickly have to check your calendar to see what year it actually is. And I mean, they made that work, right? Like, they did win with that Pharah Mercy composition. TVNT in the first 2 maps, of course, doing a lot alongside Quartz, but we've been chatting about Quartz like all day, every day, as one should, given the performance he's putting up. But TVNT has been lights out as well.
He's so good with the defense matrix, too. I think that's the thing that is really required of tanks right now in Overwatch 2, is you can't just do damage, which you expect to see from an off-tank, but you also have to make sure that you're mitigating the damage so that the rest of your team can actually function. What did you see?
The shoe side, like the shoe train, Anyone right there? It just left the station.
The shoo-shoo train.
The shoo-shoo train.
He had a good map on
Perfect.
Honor there as well,
Keep it
which, we've got a couple of highlights coming through on his Honor plays, the sleep darts onto Quartz, some of the headshots. Obviously, when we saw that headshot perk coming in for the major, we just knew, okay, that's going to be Shu all day. I do want to really touch up on one important thing here. Crazy Raccoon winning that map number 3. Obviously, they're not out of this game, but it was looking pretty dangerous. Part of the setup for winning Kings Row is a couple of things. Number 1, Diva ban is going to enable the Pharah. Pharah, I do think, is sneaky good versus the Sim. Obviously, the Sim is never going to catch in terms of the composition, not just Sim the here, but Sim TPs, you're not catching the Pharah at all. Concussive Blast is going to really put some problems on you. You're stacking as a team going through TPs as well. That's going to just be a lot of AoE damage coming through from the Pharah. But moving into the future, I don't know if this is really going to be available anymore. You've already spent the Diva ban, and you don't have that many good Pharah maps. Kings Row is uniquely a pretty good Pharah map on the first and second point.
Yeah, and you can see the stats here for Funny Astro versus Simple. I mean, both of these players have just been amazing standouts for the backline of Twisted Minds. And, you know, Funny Astro with the Lucio play, we did see a lot more Wu Young, but I think in this particular matchup versus Crazy Raccoon, you just need that speed, and especially when you're going to have a more greedy backline coming out from Chorong and Shu, the Lucio helps you kind of navigate around that. But it's been amazing to see just both of them play.
Absolutely. I mean, Twisted Minds definitely are not messing around today. They do want to move back into the grand final and take on Qadsiah once again, just for like the millionth time this year, it seems. And right now, it does look like they have a good chance of doing just that. Now, if you are the opposition, if you're Crazy Raccoon, what are you taking away from your last map that you just won? Are you keeping Max in the mix?
I think Max,
I hope so.
Max is very important here. Again, I do really look towards the Ramattra being the way to go for this team. I don't think Junbin's Hero Pool is going to be enough for Crazy Raccoon to bring this one back. I already sort of spoke about the fact that Fire is a question mark. Fire does work, but you kind of need the Diva ban first and foremost as a very strong choice, but you also kind of need the maps as well. I just don't think there are push maps or flashpoint maps in the pool that would really enable the Fire. Could be a bit of a problem there.
But we also need to, I think, talk about the fact that you still have an Echo from Heesang that can work against the Diva, but I think if you have the Ramattra instead of the Winston, as we saw in Dorado, maybe that does actually work a little bit better. You can even see the Zarya come out from Max, too, if you want.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what the teams have in store for us. They're still getting ready and set up to go again. And quite frankly, like, think about what it means for Twisted Minds. If they're winning this one, then they gotta have 3 matches in a row to play in the grand finals. A massive disadvantage as they're going up against Qadsiah.
Yeah, it will be a little bit tougher, but, you know, I think this match is not over yet. There's still things that Crazy Raccoon can pull out of the bag of tricks. One of which, by the way, we have confirmation. Crazy Raccoon has played every support hero in the book now as a part of this World Finals alongside every other team. With the Mercy being pulled out, we've seen Lifeweaver pulls from Spawn. I'm going to count also the Moira rollouts. Of course,
Is there
why
in there?
not? Yeah, so all the supports have been played, just like not even just from Crazy Raccoon, but I think also just from just all of our teams here. I love how diverse our meta has been. We've seen almost every single tank as well, except for Roadhog. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, some teams didn't make it through, you know, looking at a few specific ones we had throughout the regular stages. But yeah, honestly, I think this is what makes this so exciting. And I also think that makes it probably one of the most competitive grand finals or world finals that we've ever had, because so many different compositions are viable. That also means that you have to prepare against so many different things. You have to be so much more flexible than ever before in competitive Overwatch.
I'm a little concerned moving forward for some of the bans for Crazy Raccoon as well, because they've already taken away some of the key bans in this matchup. Lucio's gone, Symmetra's gone, Diva we already talked about as well, but you know, the Sim ban I talked about the fact that going into this game, the Sim ban map is a very, very, very important map for Crazy Raccoon to win. Now, thankfully, they won their Diva ban map, but you really needed the Sim ban map as well. But now that you don't have that one, Sim is available for the entire rest of the series. Yubi's going to lock that one in. Moving forward, Push is still going to be a very good Sim game mode. Flashpoint, not as much, but still going to be within Twisted Mind's wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's why I'm worried, because I think you would have liked to have the Sim ban for both of those modes, and the fact that you don't have it anymore for even one of them, I think is going to be really tough for for Crazy Raccoon to deal with. So got to look out for things like the Echo, just and just any more anti-symmetric tech.
Yeah, I mean, we'll find out very soon what they got for us as we are ready for our next map. This is match point for Twisted Minds. Can they close it out and move on to the grand finals? Let's find out and send it back over to our casters.
Yes, thank you very much, Zoe. Will it be an all EMEA finals, Johnny, or is Crazy Raccoon going to start the reverse sweep or continue the reverse sweep? They got 1 point on the board, but like Avril said, you know, the Pharah, really good once the Diva is banned. Probably not going to see that again. We're going to see a whole lot more sim. Crazy Raccoon still need an answer to that comp specifically.
Yeah, we talked about it, obviously, because Crazy Raccoon lost the Dorado. They now face a situation where everything is just stacked against them, and Crazy Raccoon here, they'll need to find an answer that perhaps is a little bit different from what they played on King's Row. Twisted Minds, they are going to take us towards Runa Sapi here. Obviously, I still think that Qadsiah, he can flex around on this map, try to find some answers, a hero we haven't seen so far. Okay, all right. I mean,
the level of disrespect.
Okay. It just broke me on my tracks. That's just a legitimate mercy ban.
Protecting the supports, you could argue.
I mean, that
but
is...
well, you know, we're choosing the map, so we ban first. Ramatra ban for Crazy Raccoon. Normally the troll ban, I mean, you saw Falcons do it, but it's like, yeah, whatever. It's a throwaway. We want to protect support. Want to leave the pool pretty open, but after what we saw on King's Row, maybe it was real.
What I wanted to say was that Qadsiah, he hasn't really played the Venture so far, and it's been a hero that we've seen plenty of teams on have great success. I'm thinking back to Cest on T1. He had one of the best performances we've seen so far this tournament on that Venture. Just picking apart the Symmetra compositions. And when you are Crazy Raccoon in a situation like this, you need to rely on a few individuals stepping up, trying to find some answers here to what Twisted Minds are throwing their way. And we'll see here with this Ramatra out of the mix. What kind of tanks do we cater to? As the blur is caused by a pause, someone's having a slight issue on the stage.
Won't be a moment. Don't worry. Get all these out of the way as well, just to make sure Grand Finals is as smooth as possible. Psycho in the back now. And min-maxing the people in that chair, have you noticed?
Everyone should get stage time.
Yeah, definitely.
You got a good view.
Yeah, the perfect view, some would say. VIP seats, to be fair, behind them.
Yeah, the VIPs are almost there. They're almost on stage.
Like a couple of meters away.
First-hand experience of seeing the monitors from the players.
Yeah. Nice little point of view. So you're expecting, with the Ramatra ban here from Crazy Raccoon, I mean, Twisted Minds could just go, well, let's just play Diva again.
They could. I'd say Twisted Minds are quite likely to play that if they want to, but Zarya's quite efficient here too. What I think is so important for Crazy Raccoon from that King's Row is the fact that they were synchronized. They were on the same page.
Yes.
That timed aggression we saw between Qadsiah on that Pharah and Max being able to survive in the front line. That is one of the more difficult things to get right if you are one of these teams that you want to extend these fights, you want to poke and prod, you want to buy enough time for your damage players to get those picks. It's a very hard thing to get right, but it felt like Crazy Raccoon, they just clicked on that King's Row. And if you can continue to channel that energy, even without the Pharah in play, Crazy Raccoon at least have a map's worth experience to build on things, to keep that energy going, and feel like you know that you are capable of picking apart what Twisted Minds are throwing their way.
And this map, along with New Queen Street as well, like the long straightaways, we speak about how Symmetra breaks the game in a way where, well, we haven't got mobility. I haven't got mobility cooldowns, but I can just be teleported. And UB and the rest of the EMEA teams, they make perfect use of it.
That was something we didn't hear on King's Row, Jack.
It was a little quiet.
It was a little quiet. The Korean fans now behind their team in Crazy Raccoon as they roll out. Yet again, facing a tournament elimination. Qadsiah's over on the Genji this time.
Oh yeah, that's a pick. You want to see someone play Qadsiah on Genji. Definitely one of the scariest Genjis of all time. Very quickly trying to pressure in this front line here. Nice teleport away though. Look at that, synchronized, boom. TP down, instant flip of the map.
The one thing I'm worried about here from Crazy Raccoon is Quartz. The sightlines, unbelievable here for him.
They are good, but they're getting pressured again. Nice TP. Gotta be careful though. Lib taking a large chunk out of it, and TVNT trying to escort the team away. But a snipe from Lib takes care of Yubi.
Lib, one of the few Sojourners in the world that can battle with someone like Quartz. We saw yesterday the unbelievable impact that Quartz had on that hero, but here is Lib, the greatest of all time in Overwatch Esports. Facing elimination, this is when he's at his best.
Oh, Heesang goes down though. Disruptor shot. And Lib's in trouble too. I mean, look at the amount of players descending on Lib's postcode right now. Ideally here for Max, gets out alive, should be able to. A lot of energy still conserved.
So we see Lib there. He got the better in the first fight, but Quartz, he punches back in the second fight and finds another on Heesang.
More space, more time. Don't give him another one, please.
Ultimate's coming online here for Twisted Minds. This overclock is going to be lethal.
Yeah, and you can chill down here too. Teleport back if you need. You've got so much space. Covering the gap here from Crazy Raccoon is going to be tough. Speed ring needed. Orbital Ray online in 2. Teleport. Oh, Lib's in trouble. Nice bubble though from Max, but can he actually survive? High ground control for Quartz, but he needs to land these directs. He only gets another one off. As that Graviton Surge, a swift end to TVNT's life. But the blade is going to get popped from Heesang as well, just to make sure they guarantee it.
Crazy Raccoon, they fight back. They're committing the Orbital Ray and the Graviton Surge. But it's a fairly late Dragon Blade by Heesang there to secure the fight. TVNT's mech had already been dispensed with. And now Twisted Minds, with this Stun Barrier in hand, they can go aggressive if they want.
Man, they are fast.
Overclock.
Down barrier, boom, hits the floor. That was lucky he didn't get bashed there. Trong, I think, got a 3 or 4 player bash, but it didn't matter. Shu ends up going down to Quartz. Quartz looking for the next juicy bit of prey. TVNT used that shield wall to get out of the mix. Heesang going down as well, as Quartz is so well protected. Now they're just going to chase down Max. I mean, Chorong had a beautiful timing there to maybe upset Astro and get the Ajax, but they're just going to chase all the way to the spawn.
That's checkmate. Or checkpoint, rather. For Twisted Minds. Checkmate in the finals. He's chilling.
He's chilling.
But Quartz has just been on fire so far. Crazy Raccoon need to find an answer for the Sojourn player here of Twisted Minds.
Yeah, they do. This checkpoint's so not. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, wow, the TP bomb! Shu ends up going down. I mean, it looks like Yubi's in trouble, but just like the Hydra, you kill one player, you're gonna get replaced by 4 more carries on the team.
Twisted Minds, they continue pushing this bot forwards, pushing forwards for a spot in the OWCS World Finals Grand Final, taking on their rival Qadsiah. Simple, with this Kitsune rush. Are they looking to push the pace once more?
Lib's 1 HP, man. Already, Quartz looking basically for Lib. This guy's got a magnet attached to his chest for those railguns.
Here they go.
There's the rush. Heesang with a very short dash there, but Quartz takes to the skies using that dash, and now is an amazing sightline. Luckily, though, Crazy Raccoon, get out of there. But still, free push.
This Qadsiah, such a big threat for TVNT here. Heesang coming up on this Dragon Blade.
Hey, just
nice
TP's the high ground.
Yeah.
Hello. And we have control of the bot as well. Or at least it's not pushing in your direction. But they've got to just keep tapping it now.
Here we go.
Heesang's going to get in. Bubble, Blade, onto the high ground. She already dead. And Heesang lost. Bro needs a GPS. Chorong and Shu are already down, Johnny. Heesang's Blade looking blunt.
The movement is just too good from Twisted Minds, the way they navigate that. And now over 100 meters on this Runa Sapid with less than 5 minutes to go for Crazy Raccoon. They have plenty of ultimates, but Crazy Raccoon need a lot more than just a
TP
single
bot.
fight here.
Hello. Not going to fall for that one again. Nice rally bash. Okay. Stabilizing now a Crazy Raccoon, but they cannot afford to lose more. Oh, what? With a bunny blaster? Come on. Chorong dead. Okay, simple down. They're making it scrappy, Johnny. And the most important thing here as well, draining that clock.
That's the way to come back on a pushed map like this. They will need to force the error out of Twisted Minds. When you have a lead like this, it's so comfortable for Twisted Minds. They can drain the resources from Crazy Raccoons. Trade these fights back and forth. They're gonna drop the Kitsune Rush once more, and Max fallen already.
It is like watching an F1 car versus like a Vauxhall Corsa. It is just speed for Twisted Minds. Crazy Raccoon cannot keep up. Another quick re-engage on mid. They win the fight. Crazy Raccoon have got ults, Johnny. But Twisted Minds, they got the positioning.
Yeah, no progress made by Crazy Raccoon. They're just trading fights back and forth. Lip here, boot the overclock.
Trying to find the flank, but look at that. Cognizantly aware of Twisted Minds. Quartz is gonna maybe do him one better. He's stank, dashes out, instantly dies to Astro, but they're still gaining meterage, Johnny.
Twisted Minds still in control here.
Nice
Max
kill, nice
finds
kill.
a couple.
Okay, but Max needs to survive. He had Grab in his hands, and Twisted Minds have the numbers.
They're gonna keep pushing this spot forward. Crazy Raccoon, they'll need to regather for one last push here. Dragon Blade in hand for Heesang. Goes for a bit of a contest here. Wants to control this choke point.
Not out of this just yet, but this is almost a 100-meter lead with a checkpoint in tow as well. Dude, they're going to TP bomb again, I fear. Heesang trying to bait out CDs, dashing in with a bubble. TP, high ground. Yubi with a backline shot onto Heesang, chunking him out. Here's the blade. Yubi in trouble, disappears. Heesang looking for more. He's found him eventually. It's taken multiple slashes to kill. A blade for one, but Heesang's gonna get just decimated in the high ground. However, with Crazy Raccoon still stealing the bot, maybe, just maybe, they can get some pressure on their own barricade.
Realistically, the comeback needs to start now. Chorong pops the rally, in trouble.
Yeah, he's gonna go for this bash. Nice Suzu, sound barrier connects. TVNT though, he's gonna get caught in the grab, and that is just stupendous. But Max, can he actually finish people? Oh, looks like Heesang gets there in time. 3 resets for the Genji is enough. But Johnny, look at that difference. 126 to 33 with a minute and a half.
We have witnessed some amazing comebacks on push. But can Crazy Raccoon deliver once again? Facing elimination here against Twisted Minds.
Orbital Ray might just be what they need, but they're actually just going to twin this up with the rush. In the background right now is Yubi just lasering people down, but finding Astro with a kill. Oh, Quartz. The world's his oyster when he uses that OC. They're contesting this bot, but you've got a minute left, Crazy Raccoon, and you barely got 15 meters out of that push.
That was Crazy Raccoon's best chance at a late comeback. The Orbital Ray deployed by Shu makes the swap over to Kiriko, and Max, he's on the Junker Queen. This is what Crazy Raccoon may go down with.
The Queen of all things. I didn't think we'd see the day. Not in this meta. Maybe it's what they need. But TPing and actually getting on top of it was Queen is almost impossible. And Quartz finds yet another kill.
He's gonna keep making the rotation. Keep putting in this damage as Crazy Raccoon, they're split right here. Max away from his team with Shu.
Lip just can't land a shot.
Max, he's caught.
Max goes down. Shu to follow. And bots on Crazy Raccoon's side of the map. Johnny, there's 15 seconds to go. This is desperation. What a boot from Astro too.
These are the final moments for Crazy Raccoon. Twisted Minds in complete control. Lip has the overclock, but this is the only thing going for them.
The GOAT Lip has to come up with something big here. Receives the shout. The bomb, the TP, into the back. Max low on the point, desperately hunting for heals. He needs something, but he falls. And Quartz puts him 10 feet under. The Korean gods of Overwatch return to their mortal shells as Twisted Minds rewrite history. An EMEA versus EMEA Grand Finals.
History has been made. A grand final at an OWCS major event without a Korean representative. Twisted Minds, they get their chance, their opportunity for revenge against their EMEA rivals, Qadsiah, in the grand final of OWCS Stockholm.
Revenge is what they're after now. Qadsiah put them in this position. Twisted Minds with a historic series win against Crazy Raccoon. It looked like the tides were turning on King's Row. The Farah, the Mercy even from Chorong came to play, and it was fairly dominant too from Crazy Raccoon. But as soon as you go to a map where the sim works, it is almost impossible to understate how good this team is on this comp. I mean, even look at this. Heesang with 29-6. This, I believe, is King's Row scoreboard. So we'll ignore that one. But regardless, history has been made, Johnny.
History's been made indeed. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, Jaws, but perhaps a last glimpse of some of the best Overwatch players to ever grace this world in Crazy Raccoon. So many legends on that roster here, ending at 3rd place at OWCS Stockholm. But this moment, it's all about Twisted Minds.
Chance of revenge in the grand finals. Twisted Minds with a heck of a day as well. This will be their 3rd match they've played today. Exhausted, maybe. Ready, absolutely. We're going to jump down to the stage with Danny and Astro.
Thank you so much, guys. Yes, I'm here joined by Funny Astro after beating Crazy Raccoon. I mean, fantastic stuff. You guys beat Team Falcons and then now CR. Funny Astro, how are you feeling?
Feeling amazing. After coming back after a loss like that, it feels great to win and beat all the Korean teams.
Talking about beating all the Korean teams, though, you know, there's a lot of talk about, you know, the gap is closing. You know, talking about the gap. You know, if you think about it, your team, Twisted Mind, beat T1 and then Falcon and then CR, all in that order. So, Funny Astro, what do you have to say about that gap?
There is no gap. There's a new gap in town.
What's the new gap?
Well, EU's better.
Love that answer. All right, one final question. You guys are now 1 match away from becoming the world champions. You guys are going to face off against Qadsiah one more time. What can you guys do differently in order to win it all?
I think we know what we need to change from the first match. We've got a few things we're going to do differently. And yeah, you'll see.
I'm very excited to see that. All right, everybody, give it up for Funny Astro one more time. Thank you very much. Zoe, back to you.